Hey, what's up? This is your boy Asiago on 3 a.m. Thoughts. It's actually almost 4 a.m. Yeah, I'm recording late again, but that's because I just got back from watching some Full Metal Alchemist. So I just started watching the show, and so far, actually, I really like it. You know, it's a quite unique show. I just got done finishing episode 3. So again, like I said, I just started. I'm not very far or anything like that yet. But shoot, I love the concept of the show. I love the whole concept of alchemy, and how scientific it is in the show. I mean, you gotta kind of like watch it to see what I mean. Actually, I can kind of describe it from. In a way, it's kind of like imagine like witchcraft, but like if it was like scientific, and then it actually did something. I don't know, something like that. But man, like shoot, and on top of that, and whatever alchemy they do, like they can control like certain elements or whatever. Again, this is coming from my perceptions from like. The first episode to the third episode, because I noticed how this one guy was using alchemy to control water, one guy was using alchemy to control fire, and then the Full Metal Alchemist, the main character, he can control things, basically all metal. But then again, I've also seen him use rock too. So I mean, it's a little something called like transmutation or whatever. But still, like, damn, I am hooked. I want to watch more, and I would have watched more, but then I realized, damn, it's freaking, past 3:30 in the morning, and I gotta, record this podcast, so. Oh, here we go. Okay, so, Full Metal Alchemist. Actually, so, I just got, let's see, so I started Full Metal Alchemist. Now, when I watch animes, I'm watching them in waves, and with waves, each wave comes with its own separate set of animes. So far, I'm pretty much, or at least almost done with wave 1, which is the wave at which I started watching anime. It started off from last year, like last summer, and it's it's still kind of going on. But I'm so far into it that I can confidently start wave 2, and not feel like overwhelmed or anything with too many shows to watch, of course. So wave 1 consists of My Hero Academia, which the current season just wrapped up. So I'm currently caught up on that. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let's see. I am on the current arc of that. I believe I am on episode 6 or so on that. I think I might be. I think I'm on episode 9. Let's see. I gotta check back on the website. But yeah, I'm still in the single digits, and the reason why I hadn't watched too much further yet is because I prefer my anime dubbed. So I'm actually waiting for all 39 episodes. Well, I'm not gonna wait entirely for all 39 episodes to be dubbed. Right now, it's there's 21 episodes already dubbed, but let's see. But also too, I don't want to just binge through the show and then I'm having to wait every week for a freaking new episode. So I'm trying to keep it a slow pace. So that's really the only show from Wave 1 that's still now I'm still watching. And to see, there was Demon Slayer, which I watched the entire first season. Quite a couple of months ago, quite a while ago. So I'm waiting for the movie. The movie is looking awesome. And funny thing, I saw a spoiler. This meme page that has consists of a bunch of Demon Slayer memes. I saw this one meme. It contained a huge freaking spoiler. It was also a huge freaking twist. Oh my god! But after seeing the spoiler, man, I'm just more hyped up to actually I'm more hyped up for the show now more than ever. I am so excited to see how the show actually ends up getting to the point where that spoiler happens. Wow, I am so freaking pumped up. I'm actually thinking about reading the manga, but then again, I don't have a real good track record when it comes to reading things. So So I gotta wish me luck on that. Let's see. There's also Lucky Star, which is the first anime that I've actually finished. God, I felt so sad when I finished that. Not because it's a sad anime, but because, well, like, shoot, again, it was the first one I finished. I had a bunch of memories, with that show. Like, I mean, I freaking love it. It's kind of like in my last podcast when I was talking about freaking childhood memories built up with shows. Lucky Star, it was one of the first animes I started watching. It was the first anime I finished, and it's building up so many memories just watching the show, man. Like, and I freaking love it. It's one of my top favorite animes out there. And the most recent, the last and the most recent anime that I just finished is The Rising of the Shield Hero. Man, like, so I actually there was a point where I watched a good quarter of the season, and then I kind of slowed down because I was watching a whole bunch of other shows at the same time. But then when I started actually organizing all my anime watching to waves, that's whenever I started really focusing on that one anime. And let me tell you, man, I freaking love it. I want to read the manga too on that one. God, I'm so excited for season 2. It's supposed to come out either late this year or early next year, but this whole damn China thing, it was probably going to affect that, but I mean, you never know. So currently I'm on wave 2. So wave 2 consists of Full Metal Alchemist, which is another big anime that I'm watching. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, so I saw why not start now. And so quite a bit of these shows on wave 2 I've started while I was watching all the original animes I started watching. But of course, with watching so many animes simultaneously, it's it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of stuff to digest all at once. It took me forever to finish one show. So, that reminds me, Assassination Classroom. That was also another show from Wave 1 that I finished. And God, the ending is a real tearjerker, man. I freaking love this show. But actually, awesome thing about Assassination Classroom, even if you're not into anime, I really recommend it. If you're into movies like Only the Strong, Lean on Me, or Stand and Deliver, movies where you have a really dysfunctional class. It's full of delinquents. They're not doing so well in school, and then freaking this one teacher steps into the classroom. Not only does the teacher straighten them up, but also turns them into better people. I love stuff like that, and that's what the show exactly does. Except with a bunch of twists, because the teacher isn't exactly a normal teacher. He's kind of not human, and then the whole goal of the kids is kill the teacher before graduations, or before the year ends. So it has its own little twists and stuff. So but either way, whether you're into anime or not, if you like stuff like that, I highly freaking recommend it. It is great. The character development is off the chain. So here we go. Full Metal Alchemist, and we're back to going wave 2. We Never Learn, my favorite romance show, period. I freaking love it. I am a sucker for romance stories, and definitely We Never Learn. I'm on episode 9 season 1, episode 9, and I freaking love this show. I absolutely love and adore the 3 cute girls featured in it. Wow, shoot, I am in freaking love. Darling of the Franxx. So great show so far. I am on episode 10, I believe. But the thing is that people have warned me the last 5 episodes aren't that great. Which is, kind of, bringing me to unease, because it's so good right now, while I'm currently watching. It's so good, what could possibly go wrong? I'm probably going to regret saying that later, but still. Let's see, another one I watched 2 episodes of, it's Konosuba. Shoot, a little isekai anime. Isekai meaning it gets the main character gets taken out of his original world and into a fantasy world, and well, so far it's pretty good. I love it. It's got good humor. It's got it's got a cute girl in it, and literally you can get, like, all you need to do to get me to watch an anime or read a manga is just tell me that there's a cute girl in it. Like, literally the whole reason why I started watching Rising of the Shield Hero was because I saw a picture of a cute raccoon girl, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this show. I don't care if I like it or not. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch this show just for the anime girl. And thankfully, the show turned out to be really awesome. So I watched it for more than just the anime girl. But shoot, let's see, Black Clover. Yeah, Black freaking Clover. I'm really excited to freaking watch this. So far on the website, it goes all the way up to 123. I believe that is actually current. So I can't wait to get started on that later on. Cowboy Bebop. It's an oldie. I used to see it all the time, being advertised in the old Adult Swim ads. So shoot, so I'm actually quite excited to watch that. I watched the first episode, so definitely the setting is not what I thought it was gonna be, but I mean it's still pretty damn interesting. Shoot, so on Ghost Stories, my God, let me tell you. If you're the kind of person that watches anime in sub, please, I beg you, and you're gonna thank me later, do not watch Ghost Stories in sub. Please watch it in dub. There's a big reason, because the thing about Ghost Stories is that it flopped so hard in Japan with the Japanese dub that because the story wasn't really all that great. The characters were pretty bland according to the script and all, and the show was just it was terrible. It was terrible in its original script. So but the Japanese already gave the rights to America for the English dub. So but they cared so less they cared so little about the show by the time they did that they told the American producers, you know what, do whatever you want with the script. We don't give a damn about this show no more. Just do what you want. And that's exactly what they did. But the English dub, the main story still exists. Obviously the animation and stuff is still there, so they still gotta play by that main script. But the characters are written so differently because whoever wrote the English script for the show, man, they just turned it into like a parody, like a parody of what it actually is. But it's official though. It's you go online to YouTube and you watch those Dragon Ball Z videos where they're called abridged videos. It's a fan dub. People talk over the people make their own fan dub, and they make the characters say funny things. Well, this is exactly what it is right here, except this is actually official. And shoot, and I recommend I like any anime. I recommend that you go in order, but if you must see an good example episode, watch episode 9. You will not regret it. I promise you that you will not regret it. All right, so and those are the, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Those are the 7 or 8 counting JoJo animes I'm currently streaming on right now. So let's get on to let's get on to the actual topics here. That was my little opener. So let's go on to what's on my mind today. Well, nothing much. Today was a pretty good day. Not too much happened at work. So I'm over here, just doing my job, like I'm supposed to do. And then we got some new pallet jacks in today, and let me tell you, over here at the store, we were in desperate need for new pallet jacks. We our manager, she ordered 4 new ones, and that was great because first of all, we only had 10 jacks in the store, and I'm not gonna answer that right now. Hold on, let me go over and tell this guy I'm recording my podcast here. Recording podcast. Let's see. Bada beam, bada boom. I am typing on my computer. Okay, there we go. So, as I was saying. So, we only had 10 pallet jacks in the store, which, that sounds good, right? Well, take into account that only like maybe 4 of the 10 original pallet jacks we had in the store are actually good. You know, they're actually good jacks. You know, jacks that are, you know, worth their time. Jacks that actually function right. That don't freaking, you know, drop down slow. Ones that don't freaking make every single pallet 10 times heavier than it should be. Like, God, freaking like again, 6 of our jacks, like they sucked. I mean, they really sucked. Like, even a pallet full of nothing but like napkins, you know, that crap should be freaking light as hell, no matter what jack you're using. But man, this is one jack, it just sucks so bad that if you use it on even a light pallet like that, or even just a pallet by itself, it'll make you feel like you're lugging on a freaking pallet of tile or something like that. It's just that terrible. And somebody properly named it the backbreaker. So I mean, there's freaking them, you know. So it was. I was so glad whenever our manager ordered 4 new pallet jacks, because they're essential to the job. You know, because we got more new jacks. You know, we got more better jacks. You know, there's less of a chance of me having to break my back every time I pull pallets, and trust me, I do that a lot at my job. And she actually ordered 3 more today, and they came in. I mean, she didn't order them today. Well, she ordered them quite a while ago, and they finally delivered today. But, you know, it was great because, you know, we got more, you know, good stuff, you know, circulating around the store. Although the funny thing is that 5 minutes after, you know, releasing it from the truck, freaking, you know, people stole them. You know, like, no, well, not outside people stole them, like from the store or anything. I'm talking about like freaking people from all these different departments, like, you know, took the jacks and started using them. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's a jack. You use it, you know, to do stuff. But the thing is, though, is that, man, I was gonna freaking take one of the jacks and use it, you know, to work all day, but whatever. So actually, and this opened up a random thought in my head. The first time I was introduced to pallet jacks, and let me get into this weird story here. So I first got hired at Walmart. So I never worked a retail job in my life, so I had no idea what a pallet jack was. So the guy who was doing my orientation, you know, this cool old dude named Anthony, you know, he was giving us a tour around the store, the back rooms and all that, telling us, you know, what is what, you know, how do we use a baler, you know, how do things function, you know, in the back room and stuff. And then, you know, we come across, you know, this pallet jack, and he's like, all right, can anybody tell me what this is? A couple of us, you know, a couple of the people that are with me, you know, were able to name it. But then, like, he still went along and said, all right, guys, this is a pallet jack. So the way you use it is that you put it inside a pallet, you pump it, and then you pull, and then you press this lever to let it go, and you're set. And like, I don't know what like resonated in my mind at the time. I have no freaking clue, but for some reason, like, I became like somewhat obsessed with like the name pallet jack, or just like the very concept of a pallet jack. Like, it's so weird. For like months on end, I had all these random like jokes and thoughts about pallet jacks freaking like circulating in my brain, and it was like very weird. So, like, shoot. So let's fast forward a bit. You know, I'm still working for the remodel people, but I'm working in a warehouse. And working in a warehouse, you know, I worked with with a couple dudes in there. You know, we would use the pallet jacks, you know, to do normal warehouse things. To get around faster, we would ride the pallet jacks, which is actually pretty fun. You know, just a bit dangerous, but I mean, it was fun as hell, and definitely, you know, helped us to get around. See, and here's the thing. I had this weird dream around this time. Yeah, like, and it was the first of many. But this one I remember the best, though. So, I had this really weird dream about a pallet jack, or about pallet jacks in general. So, let's see. One of them was, so I was the king of the pallet jacks. So the forklift was my throne, and my castle was entirely made out of pallets, and I had I had like an entire armada of pallet jacks bowing down to me. It was so freaking weird. Like even like in the dream, I was like, "What is going on? This can't be real, man. What is this? What is this?" And then and I had this other dream too. I had this other dream where me and the guys from the warehouse, we went on this giant, like, not cruise ship. It was a freight ship. We traveled all the way to Africa, and the reason why we went to Africa was because we wanted to feed the poor African kids. We wanted to be good Samaritans. But the weird thing was that, like, instead of bringing food onto the boat, we brought crates full of pallet jacks. And what did we do? We fed the kids pallet jacks. It was so weird. Like, freaking, like, I remember in the dream, we were like, "All right, kids, you're hungry? Here's a jack." And this one kid freaking, like, ran up to the pallet jack, grabbed it with his hands, picked it up like if it was Superman or something, and started biting into it. Started cracking all of his teeth, and like his gums got all bloody and stuff. But he was literally eating the metal off that thing. And at that point, I was like, "Wait a second, huh? This doesn't make sense. Why am I dreaming this stuff?" Oh god. and then, like, and I remember waking up, like, just very concerned about, like, my mental health. But then, like, I went back to bed and I had yet another pallet jack dream. But except that it was a bit more mellow. But it was still like, why the hell am I dreaming about pallet jacks for? So this other dream, I became a CEO of a cereal company, and and I pitched this idea for a new cereal. It's a watermelon flavored cereal. So it's over here. My idea would circulate a new flavor into the pool of cereals, and my cereal idea was, you guessed it, Pallet Jacks. Like, that was literally the name of the cereal, Pallet Jacks. Like Apple Jacks, but except pallets, and not apple, it's watermelon, and all the little cereal pieces were shaped like Pallet Jacks, or at least it will try to resemble one. And shoot, it was more mellow, but hey, at least it was it's still pretty weird how I dreamt about all these things concerning Pallet Jacks. Ah, God, it is so freaking weird, man. Like, I don't know what was going through my mind at that time, but man, shoot. But okay, so let's see what else. Actually, so even though earlier I said nothing much happened today, that's still pretty true. I mean, nothing much really did happen today, except now they're having to make us making us associates. Now we have to freaking park and enter by the automotive section, because as of right now, the automotive section is closed. Like, all the automotive guys, they're not working there for the time being. They're actually unloading our trucks and stuff for us. So we enter in through there, and they have to take our temperature before we can even clock in. And if we enter in, if we have a temperature over 100 degrees, then we can't clock in. We have to go straight home. Which, I mean, I get it, but still, like, it's like, again, if you're doing that, you might as well just shut down the entire store and just, like, or make it to where, like, only employees can be inside the store, while, like, make the entire store pickup only. And instead of having that small pickup section, make the entire parking lot a pickup section. And then, I mean, for Pete's sake, they already have, they've already reserved a couple of parking spots, for to deliver people's pharmaceuticals. So, I mean, if you're doing that, I mean, why don't you just do it on a bigger scale? Use that entire parking lot, make everybody do the whole pickup thing. Now, I get it. not everybody can do the pickup thing. I mean, you have a bunch of boomers that don't know how to use technology, and you have a lot of old people that don't even know what a freaking phone is, so I mean, or they don't even know what the internet is. So of course, not everybody's gonna be able to use that. So I get why there's, the store is physically still open, but still though, and to even in the time of a pandemic, the whole idea of being internet, or like exclusively internet mode, still triggers a lot of people. It still scares them, still draw them away. But then again, where else are they gonna go? Are they gonna go to the store next to us, where that only allows one person at a time, or are they gonna go to some other store that's actually closed? So I mean, what other choice did they got? I mean, whatever. People will find some ways to be stubborn. I mean, that's what I don't like about customers, is that, shoot, I mean, even me being a customer, I am not so dense. I don't know how people could be so freaking dense. But anyways, let's go back to what else happened today. So I was stalking an aisle. Yeah, I was stalking my aisle. Just doing my normal thing, playing my music. Getting my pallets done. Plain and simple. But this one kid, he would not stop freaking crying. He would not stop freaking crying. Actually, I believe I've shared this story before. It was on a different day, and I was in a different aisle. But it happened again today. So, man, this kid freaking, he just would not shut up. He would not stop crying. But then, but all day my stomach was hurting. The reason why is because I was holding in gas. Why was I holding in gas? Well, first of all, the store was just full of customers today. I didn't want to just fart, anywhere, anytime, and make a whole lot of people suffer. I mean, come on. I could be a bit mean, but I'm not that mean. And plus, I mean, my farts really, really freaking stink. In multiple countries, my farts are considered dangerous. they're considered toxic waste. But anyways, freaking, and also another reason was because for the most part, look, I can feel in my internals, I can feel whether what's near my butt crack is gas or something more than gas. So this time around, I felt the gas inside my stomach, but what was actually near my butt crack wasn't gas. And I knew that the only way I could actually let out a fart is if I let out something more than a fart, with it. So when I'm on the clock, when I'm working, I don't like using the restroom. I don't, because I want to get as much work done as as possible, as fast as possible. I want to be in the zone. I don't want that disrupted by me having to go freaking pee. Even if I really need to. Now, if it's an emergency, yes, I'm gonna say screw it. I'm gonna go freaking pee, or I'm gonna go freaking poop sometimes. But I definitely don't like pooping on the clock because pooping typically takes longer. But I mean, whatever. So, but anyways, I was holding it in, but then I felt this pocket of air though, inside. I felt this pocket of air that was surpassing all the poop and stuff in my my intestines. And so I was able to let out a little bit of gas without letting out anything else. But okay, so we were back back in the aisle. This kid would not shut up. He would not stop freaking crying. My God, but at the same time, my stomach was just feeling so freaking bad. And I had to just let out a fart, otherwise it would have freaking killed me. Freaking. So the mom has the kid in their shopping cart. He's screaming like a damn banshee. And I let out a fart as her cart's passing by, and this kid for 1 second he's screaming bloody hell, and then the next second he chokes. He starts coughing, and then he's like, and he almost freaking throws up in the shopping cart. And I wanted to bust out laughing so bad, but I didn't want to, I didn't want I didn't want anybody to actually know I farted, And plus, I didn't want the kid freaking accusing me of like poisoning him or something with with my poisonous farts or whatever. So I tried my best to keep quiet. But man, this kid, shoot, like he was quiet. He was quiet for the rest of the day, or at least he was quiet for the rest of the time that he was in my aisle, and that's all I freaking cared about. I didn't hear not a single bit of noise from him the rest of that day. And you know what? It was peaceful. So now I know. Well, I mean, now for sure I know another way to to keep a kid quiet, or to make a kid get quiet. Just fart, and hoping that the kid sucks that fart in his mouth, and and he chokes on it, and if and he stops wanting to scream because he doesn't want to suck in any more farts. Shoot. Speaking of freaking farts, and at the workplace at that. So there was another day where, I mean, it was just a normal day, but except it was one of those weird days where the entire day I had to fart all day. Like every 5 minutes I would need to let out some farts. No, not even every 5 minutes. Every 2 minutes I would need to let out a fart. Most of the time it would be little farts, and sometimes it would be bigger farts. But shoot, like, and if I really need to fart at the workplace, and I even used to do this in school, I would let out ninja farts, silent but deadly, and trust me, my farts stay true to those adjectives. So I remember it was super late at night. I was stalking the deodorant aisle, with a couple of guys, and there's this guy named Nelson. Shoot, yeah. So there's this guy named Nelson. He's stalking the aisle with me. There was also this other guy. His name was Robert. So we all three of us, we were. So we're all stalking this one aisle, doing our freaking thing. It was super late at night, so I mean we weren't closed, but I mean the chances of customers actually coming by was super slim to none. So it was just me and Robert in the aisle. We were doing our thing, and so like I decided, I looked around. I thought, the coast is clear. I'm too far from Robert to, for him to smell it, and there's no customers beside me. So I'm just gonna let out a ninja fart. And I did. But then in the process of me letting out that ninja fart, freaking Nelson walks straight into the freaking fart cloud. The invisible fart cloud. And then freaking at the same time, Robert freaking comes towards my way too. Because he needed to stock something else, and man, like they both smelt it horribly. And and once I saw that they smelt it, I gotta act like I just smelt it too. And freaking, so I'm like, oh my god, Nelson, why did you fart? And freaking Robert's like, oh man, did you take a dump in your pants or something? Well, freaking, so, and let me tell you what's the most bizarre thing here. So I was the one that crop dusted Nelson, but hear me out. Somehow I got Nelson to believe me that he farted. I know, it doesn't make sense. Like, freaking, so I farted, I accused Nelson of farting, and Nelson's like, oh man, I can't believe I farted. I mean, knowing the guy, I know he wasn't playing along. I know he legit thought he freaking farted. So and the fart smelled so bad, like, it straight up smelled like freaking, like I just took a dump. And trust me, it was just gas. But freaking, I made the guy believe that he actually farted. And he walks all the way to the restroom. He walks all the way to the restroom to check his pants. To make sure he didn't crap himself. He wanted to make sure he didn't crap himself. When he came back, I was like, what did you go to the restroom for? And he was like, man, I like, you never know, man. It just comes out. Oh my god. I was like, huh? Oh god. This dude freaking straight up thought that he straight up thought not only that he farted, but he also freaking believed that damn, that he possibly pooped his pants. He had to go check. Ah, man. Oh, God. That was just hilarious. I mean, shoot. By now, Robert definitely knows that it was me that crop dusted him. Because I told him like a few months after the event happened. But I still don't think to this day, I still don't think Nelson actually knows, though. I don't even know if he even remembers the situation. But still, like, God, man. That was hilarious. So let's go on to this whole farting topic. So let me tell you, I love popcorn, especially movie theater popcorn. I freaking love it, especially when you put the extra butter on stuff on on top of it. But here is where things get kind of stinky, and I do mean literally. As much as I love popcorn, I've decided I'm never eating popcorn ever again, because freaking every time I eat popcorn, I get horrible gas. Now, it doesn't hurt, but it freaking stinks, and I just, like, it even if I eat, like, a small tub of popcorn, like, a small tub, like, I'm not talking about the giant ones you get from Cinemark, no, I'm talking about, like, freaking a small little, like, a tiny cereal bowl sized, bowl of popcorn, which is not really that much. Freaking, again, it's just as much as a bowl of cereal. It's not that much compared to how much popcorn you would normally eat at a movie theater. But man, every time I eat freaking popcorn, I get terrible gas. Like I start farting nonstop, and they smell terrible. And sometimes it will freaking hurt, because because I have so many of these farts building up. Freaking I can't release them all at the same time, because I release some and at the same time my stomach is producing them, but it's still overloading with gas. So freaking it sucks, because I love popcorn to death, but you know what? Every time I eat it, I keep on having this problem where I just can't stop farting, can't stop stinking, and and sometimes it hurts. So, I mean, as much as it hurts me, I gotta say, I can't eat, popcorn anymore. Or at least, well, I'm not allowing myself to eat popcorn no more, because, I ain't gonna put myself in that situation no more. Shoot. Hot damn, man. Shoot. Let's see. Whew. Man, all this talk about freaking farting, man. Actually, the funny thing is that I definitely on a normal basis, I'm always farting and burping, but it's never it's never freaking too much. It's not always all the time or whatever. But I tell you what, definitely more often than I do farting, I burp a lot. I mean, obviously, if you listen to any freaking episode of my podcast, at least once I just let out a random burp. I let out a random burp earlier this episode. I'm either always burping or I'm always farting. I can't escape the gas. I legit cannot escape the gas, man. Shoot. Let's see. So I got 30 minutes left in the podcast. So what else do I talk about here? Shoot. Let's see. Okay. So let's change things around here. You know what? You know what's the cause of farts? Food. So we're gonna talk about freaking food here. Okay. So growing up, I was always kind of a picky eater. I don't know why. Actually, I kind of do know why. It's because the thought of eating something, other than what I was used to, it always it always disattracted me. I never liked the freaking thought of eating something that I wasn't familiar with. So therefore, I would never eat freaking anything that wasn't chicken McNuggets from freaking McDonald's. For the longest time, well, actually, you know what? A freaking McDonald's, I always ate a cheeseburger, from a freaking Happy Meal, and it would always be a double cheeseburger with no onions, take away this and that, freaking actually the onions part The onions part didn't I actually, for the longest time, I had no idea what a freaking onion was. But my dad, though, being the sort of picky eater he was at the time, he didn't like onions. I mean, he still doesn't like onions today, but I mean, especially back then, he really didn't like onions. So he would just automatically say no onions for my burger. So I'm gonna go on a little side tangent here. I'm gonna tell you about onions. Because, I mean, so far the topics of this podcast have been either pallet jacks or something that involves stink. So let's move on with the onions. So, for the longest time, I would, anytime my dad ordered, food for me from McDonald's, it would always be, without onions. Because that's what it would always ask for. Even though I never had a chance to, try onions for myself, he would always, say no onions. So again, I had no idea what an onion was. All I knew is that that would be just something he would say, when he would order. And so, and for the longest time, that's just how I ate my burger. But then one day, my grandma, she picked me and my sister up from school, and I believe it was I was about 10 years old at the time. Yeah, I was about 10 years old, and so freaking, we go to McDonald's. She orders us her Happy Meals, and then and then here's the thing. After she done order her food, and we were in the line, to go pay for the food. Freaking, something clicked with me, and I realized that she didn't say no onions, and so I thought, wait a second. Oh no, I'm gonna figure out what an onion is today. And so so I got my burger. The first thing I did was open it up, and I saw for the first time those little white chopped pieces of something, so and I had no idea what they were, but I thought, what, I'm gonna try it, because I don't know what these things are, so I'm gonna try it. It's one of those rare times in my childhood when I was actually willing to try something. Because normally, if I saw something weird like that, I would be I would stay away from it. I would stay away from it like the freaking plague. But this time, I'm guessing this was around the time where I kind of stopped getting picky, or it was around the time where I began to stop being picky on certain things. So so I decided, I'm gonna try whatever the hell this onion thing is, and I did. Freaking loved it. Oh my freaking god. From that day forward, onions became my favorite vegetable. And my god, are they still my favorite vegetable today, along with jalapenos, which are actually my favorite fruit. But anyways, oh my god. And so from that point on, every burger I had to have freaking onions. Oh my god, and onions, they're just so great. I mean, sure, they do have an odor, and if I eat too much of them, my breath stinks, and even if I brush my teeth freaking 3 times, freaking the taste of onions and even the smell of them will still linger in my mouth. But still, I freaking love them regardless, man. I they add that freaking extra, spice of flavor. That not many other foods can give to you, or at least not many other foods offered in cheeseburgers and stuff. I mean, hell, if they offered cilantro and freaking Whataburger, hell yeah, give it up to me, freaking I'll take that. But shoot, man, freaking onions, dude. I freaking love them, man. Shoot. All right, so that's it for that little side tangent. So let's continue on, with food. So again, I was always a picky eater. At every single restaurant we went to, it didn't matter if it was a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, a pizza restaurant. I mean, well, not a pizza restaurant. I ate pizza, but it didn't matter where we went. I was always a picky eater, me and my sister. Freaking I remember going to Cassoulet, and the only things we would ever eat were the freaking chicken wheels. Thinking about it now, who goes to a Mexican restaurant to eat chicken wheels? I mean, it's like going to Whataburger to eat nothing but the chicken strips. You're not even eating Whataburger. You're eating at Whata Chicken. And freaking, I'm not eating at Cassoulet. I'm eating at freaking Chicken Ole. Oh, like chicken nugget Ole, for crying out loud. Oh god, like, I can't believe just how picky I used to be. It's like downright annoying. It was downright annoying just thinking about it. Like, oh my god. And for the longest time, even outside of elementary school, like even like early into my days of of middle school, even up to where I was like 13 in 7th grade, I was still a picky eater. Freaking I remembered freaking going to my first Asian restaurant. I think it was a Japanese grill or something like that. I'm not too sure. Actually, I think it might have been Chinese food. But at least I had a legitimate excuse to why I never ate Chinese food and still don't eat it today. These days I have 2 legitimate reasons. The original one is because the Chinese typically like the cooked cats and dogs, and I would not eat those animals. And before you say it, I mean, the freaking Chinese restaurants here in America have been caught with frozen cat and frozen dog in the freezer, being prepared to be chopped up and served, on the menu. And like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat cats or dogs, because I just freaking don't. Maybe in an apocalyptic situation I would, but no, I am not gonna eat one, out of recreational, eatery. And so that for the longest time that was my only legitimate excuse. And these days, well, I mean, you never know. Maybe they're putting bats in their food now. Maybe they're putting corona in their food now. But anyways, but definitely back in the day, went to our first Chinese restaurant, and what did I do? I try to look for like a freaking chicken nugget option. Oh god. I can't believe it. A teenager, looking for a chicken nugget option at a Chinese restaurant. Oh god, when I saw that there was no freaking chicken nugget option, I thought to myself, you know what? I gotta man up. I'm 13 years old. Damn it. I need to expand my palate a bit. I'm here at a different restaurant. Shoot. And at the time, there was this girl who I wanted to, go out with. So I thought, you know what? I gotta do it for her. I gotta start eating different foods for her, because I started thinking, and it was one of the rare times, being a freaking 13-year-old, that I actually used any logic in my thoughts. But I thought, you know what? Perhaps this girl is not going to want to always eat chicken nuggets, anytime we go to a freaking restaurant. Or perhaps she's not going to always want, perhaps, she's not going to want to date a guy who only eats chicken nuggets. I mean, come on. Shoot. So anyways, I decided, I'm gonna try whatever the hell this thing is. They were like beef ribs or something like that, but still, I'm eating beef ribs at a Chinese restaurant, man. I mean, there's so much actual, like, Asian food I could be eating there, but I choose to eat that. Like, and so, but definitely, from 14 years old onwards, I started being less picky about what I ate. I really started being more expansive, and not so much because I wanted to impress a girl, not so much because, I wanted to actually expand my palate or anything. Is because starting at 14 years old onward, I became more of an introvert, and I just started accepting more things, at starting from that age, I just always found any way to avoid confrontation. Let's say, even today, if I order something and they, let's say, I go to a restaurant, I order something and they give my order wrong, even down to, they give me the wrong drink, they gave me the wrong food and all that, I'm gonna do? Not a damn thing. I paid for that food, so I'm gonna eat it. I asked for the food. I didn't ask for the food, but still, I ordered food. They gave me a food, and so I'm gonna eat. Shoot, I'm like that meme. They mess up my order. I'm like, not what I had in mind, but this will do. you know, and so, you know, I became more accepting of things, in that, you know, in that manner. So, and lots of times, you know, we go to restaurants, and by this time, definitely, I mean, for obvious reasons, being a 14-year-old and with my sister being a 12-year-old, you know, my parents kind of got fed up with us freaking being so damn picky all the time. So what they did was, you know, just forced us, you know, to eat whatever was there. You know, we're not gonna get any alternatives. You know, we're not gonna get any special treatment. You know, there's food there. You know, that's what we're gonna eat. You know, so. You know, but I mean, for my sister it was kind of hell, but I mean, for me though, because I became more introverted and I just became more accepting of things, I was like, okay. And I'm trying to imagine myself with like the freaking like with that One Punch face, yeah, that One Punch Man face. Well, like I mean, you guys seen the meme, right? That One Punch Man, you know, making that stupid face, saying, okay. You know, that's pretty much how I was back in you know, back in 8th grade. You know, back in my you know, my first introverted days. You know, so I started trying foods because, you know, I just did it just to do it. You know, I saw food in front of me, and I just ate it because of that. You know, because I mean, shoot, I mean, it was a really boring reason, but hey, I mean, through that, I started, you know, I started, you know, trying a lot more things. And my palate really did expand by a freaking lot. And you know, and then going into high school, I was still very much introverted, but then like I had more interesting reasons for me why I would actually want to go eat different things. Because hey, you know, like by the time I hit high school, freaking I received my mother's blessing to, you know, to go out on dates if I wanted to, even if I didn't have a vehicle for myself until I was 17. But anyways, freaking so I thought, hey, you know what if I want to take a girl, you know, to this place, and I might as well try, you know, that kind of food first before I actually go to somewhere like that, so I'm not making a damn fool out of myself. You know, so that's what I did too. And also around that time as well, but actually around the time when I was 14, really, my grandma started living with us, and you know, and with that, you know, she also brought all of her freaking recipes. You know, she would always be in the kitchen cooking something, and she would cook all these like amazing foods, like different kinds of foods that, you know, I didn't grow up with originally, but man. And it's all Mexican food, and I'm telling you, it's like she's a natural born chef. She's one of the best freaking cooks I know, man. Like, oh my god, I just love her cooking. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, and the whole church does too, because like she'll, like, even for like church events and stuff, she'll cook, you know, she'll cook for those, and man, everybody in the freaking congregation loves her food, man. And God, like, oh God, and it was when she started living with us, and she started, you know, cooking in our kitchen. It was when I really started, you know, expanding my palate upon things. I mean, mostly in the realms of Mexican food, but still though, like, I mean, that's a pretty damn big thing around here, you know, in South Texas, you know, where I mean, we're not super close to the border or anything like that, but hell, I mean, we're close enough to where, I mean, like, at least a good half the population around here is Hispanic. So, I mean, obviously, there's gonna be a lot of freaking Tex-Mex going on around here. So shoot, whatever. And here we are now. You know, here's me now, post graduation, or post high school and all that. I'm not really all that picky no more. Like, I'm gonna admit, you know, sometimes I see something, I'm like, you know, I question it, but then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It's food. I mean, there's gotta be a reason why people like it, and a lot of times, you know, freaking, I mean, if I see something, I'm gonna eat it. You know, I'm not like, I might question it for a little bit, but I mean, shoot, again, there's gotta be a reason why people freaking like it. My God, let me tell you, freaking Warehouse 72. Now that is currently my favorite, like, real sit-down restaurant. Like, freaking, they make some of the best. Like, oh, the food just smells great. The food looks very appetizing, and Warehouse 72 is the home of my most favorite version of mac and cheese ever. Now, it wasn't just any mac and cheese. Like, it's not the kind of mac and cheese that you would just serve to your kids, freaking like because they're freaking crying for a little midday snack, and they're like, "Fine, I'll make you some damn mac and cheese, kid. Well, you just shut up already. Watch your damn cartoons." No, it's not nothing like that. Freaking like this is adult mac and cheese. Now, they don't put beer or anything like that in it, but shoot, like they make it gore freaking May, man. Like like freaking, and they added some freaking like some steak in there. Like, oh, they added some like shoot, like I don't even know all the ingredients, man. It was it was a sort of like a white cheese, man. Like they put some like some little green stuff in there. Oh man, so and the meat was so like, oh, it was so savory, it was so sweet. God, it was so good. And even the way they made the macaroni, the way they made the cheese, man, it was just freaking amazing. Like, as soon as this damn quarantine is over, as soon as things go back to normal, man, I'm getting my friends and we're going to Warehouse 72. Like, cause I gotta have that again. And I guess shoot, like I mean I probably should save up some money to do that, because I mean, again, it's a real restaurant, and I mean, for as nice the food is, the price definitely reflects that. But anyways, God, it's so freaking good. Like, definitely, if I ever go on a date, that's where I'm going. Warehouse 72. It's super damn great. God, like, and this episode ain't sponsored by them or anything. But damn, like, I will freaking sponsor them, if they give me the offer. But anyways. So here we are, the last 5 minutes of the podcast. Let me share some some final thoughts. Let me kind of wrap up some loose ends here, if there are any. I don't remember any loose ends, but I mean, well, shoot, I'm probably gonna remember it later in the podcast, and I'll probably make it my opener for the next one. But anyways, so another thing, there I go, burping again. Here's another thing that would always run through my mind, back in my picky days, and even up to now. So most of the time, the taste of something is gonna be reflected off its smell. In other words, everything is gonna taste exactly how it smells. And like literally 99% of the time, that stays true. Now, there are very, very few times, and I mean very few times, where freaking like that's not the case, where something doesn't taste the way it smells. And sometimes it smells horrible but tastes good, or something smells really good but tastes horrible, like coffee. Anyways, damn, man, like, ooh man, like I don't even remember anymore. But there are just so many foods that like I remember that smelled horrible. Oh, I remember one of them, sardines. Like I remember for this little challenge that we had back in youth group, like freaking straight up, I had to eat an entire can of sardines within a certain amount of time. Let's see, and like freaking so I started eating it, and I'm like, it tastes like Spam. It's just exactly like Spam. It smells terrible, but it tastes like freaking Spam. And I love Spam. Jesus. So I just started eating it all up, man. Ooh. Oh, man. Shoot. It smelled terrible, but it tasted good. Shoot. So there's that wraps up our whole topic of food and me being picky and stuff. Let's see. So I really don't have anything else to talk about. So here we go. Thank you for making it this far into the podcast. Stay tuned, because again, for the time being, I'm going to be posting every single day. This is episode 19, and pretty soon, if you remember from a couple podcasts ago, I interviewed Pumbaa, and throughout the podcast, he mentioned this guy named Uncle Larry. He is my uncle. So I'm still trying to contact them, trying to get him to come onto the show one of these days. Hopefully before the season ends. Knowing him, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like the last episode of this season. So stay tuned for Uncle Larry's interview coming soon on this channel. So thank you for making it this far. This is your boy Asiago on 3am Thoughts, signing off. at 4:52 a.m. Good night, good morning, what have you. Have a good one.